I feel like that tapers off after a little while. But on the other hand, when you have a team like NEFFEX, it just feels like they're, they have that one thing that we have struggled to see in any other Filipino team except for Team Secret, and that's consistency.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's definitely a toss-up. Well, obviously, I just have to wait until the playoffs, until the grand finals to find out. But that's my bet. But anyway, let's go again. Straight into the game here. Game number 1 on the playoffs. And this is going to be Oasis versus Action PH. And you all know how this one goes. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath, a slugfest, a slobber knocker. Because it is the playoffs, of course. The question is, will Oasis be able to shake off those playoff jitters? Will Action PH go ahead and start to take it away? But Action PH, I'm going to be going straight onto the A side if we could just get into the action. Already, walls are coming up. It's going to be the spike being planted there. We finally have it. Thank you. As we now have Marky getting that entry onto George. Marky finding a double right now. Modeski drop here. A couple players drop from heaven. Nice clean execute by Action PH, but Ripper has something to say about it. He's found 2, bringing us now to a 1v1 situation. It's Zero Deathio has to go up and crawl his way onto the side. Marky has already found 2, looking for a third here. Drops down, actually makes a little bit of noise. And he falls for a hook, light, and sinker, but he dashes out. Zero Deathio gets the final tap on him. And just a little bit of patience. Fading away from Marky there, and Zero Deathio gets the better of him.
It's not how you miss. It's how you keep your composure and wait till you get that perfect time to hit the perfect strike. And Zero Deathio got it. Loved the rotation around Maze there going on to the corner near Generator. That just allows him for, I think, a bit more space. He knew already where Marky was. He's holding the cross and everything. If Marky tries to drop down, even if he masks his drop with a pop shot, Zero Deathio has the experience to know, okay, he's already there. And even if he stays like on pipes, he'll still be able to equalize the distance. Anyways, Marky might be in a little cheeky spot here. Gets a bit too greedy as he gets the re-peek onto Georgie, and that's going to be the drop down on him. But there's still a plenty chunk of members of Oasis holding the fort here at B-Long.
Wow, gets swatted away. Georgie Ripper is looking for another. He's found 2. Does he hear the footsteps? But he gets a tag anyway. What the hell is happening? Wild Oreo is able to take Eman out. And this eco round is looking very, very much possible for the side of Oasis. As they now double up here towards B-Long.
One enemy remaining.
Spectre here, but that's all he's going to be able to get. As Moski cleans up the rest of the round with 15 HP remaining. Oasis, they almost stole that away. A great setup, making it an expensive round here. And the bonus round for Action PH basically becomes null and void. But let's take a look at those shots by Ripper.
Ooh. Yeah, lovely from Ripper. Ripper, excuse me, it's not an F, it's a P. But, I mean,
if you're Filipino, you can say Ripper.
I'm a riff your piece of paper. Yeah.
I love the Filipino accent, man. I'm Filipino, so I love it.
Sikan floor. I love that.
Sikan floor. Yeah. They see those Dexter memes and they're all like, what, say that again, Dexter?
Colgate. Yo, legit, if I don't try to like normalize my English accent, even though it's my own accent, right? I do sound like that, so.
Pinoy? That's fine.
Because I am Pinoy.
Yeah, because we are Pinoy.
Yeah.
Let's say vegetables.
Oh my goodness.
Well, all right, back into the action now. It's going to be a 5v5.
Oh, that's
until Marky is able to get that pick up onto Moski. Good swing out right here, denying presence towards 410. And going to try to go a little bit further, pushing out here. Eman going to kill that Ghost. Cloud Burst, just to try to get it to half. Just faking it here. Awkward timing. But Coco drops in it. Ripper's found the third, and he's just being an absolute phenom right now. He's getting it to half right now, and if he can get it to half, it's going to be a big deal. The wall, the wall is enough.
It's a Spectre, dude. How are you supposed to break a wall at that distance with a Spectre? You just can't. I honestly thought there was like some sort of magic lineup that
I guess
the Viper had, but not this time.
I guess you could call it the Spectre Deflector.
Wait, where have I heard that? Oh, wait, I've heard that somewhere. like a cartoon.
You know what? I don't actually know.
Spectre, Deflector.
I've heard that before, dude. Oh, man. Man, chat will tell us, 100%.
Yeah. Maybe they'll remove emote modes up until that point, so chat can tell us. In the Valorant esports.
I think it is not. Oh, no.
Yeah. Someone who gets the reference, please just message us on like Twitch or something. But
Twitter.
Or Twitter, exactly. Anyways, really good holds from Ripper. He's starting this off incredibly well here as like the Viper who's supposed to be using utility. He's been playing close quarter combat with the rest of Oasis here, and again, I do like to point out that Oasis are starting to play very contact heavy here. They don't want to give APH too much breathing space to be comfortable in that post plant, and they're stopping them in between that transitional phase. And I really I really like the play style right now of Oasis. And it just goes to show that they're not just a team that likes to go for executions. They also know how to fight teams that are very much into that brawl style of play.
It's okay, Georgie. You can get it. Yeah, there you go. Second time's the charm. But towards this A side right now. Ooh, Marky identified and shut down without even having seen anyone. And that's an A side completely sequestered into the hands of Action PH. They keep everybody alive here. At this point, Asura, I'd consider a save for Oasis.
They do have only Spectres, so they might just try to deflect their opponents. Now remember, it's from SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs and the ghost thing. Anyways, Coco now has been spotted, getting hounded down. He's got to eat. Try to get them closer on the distance, but not going to happen. Georgie finds the mark. Sean PH here still claims the round regardless. Oasis back into the weaker buys, but they do have some ultimates to maybe work with coming into this round.
Oh, it is another. Let's take a look at this replay first. Okay, Georgie just got that final kill. I thought it would be a little bit flashier than that, but it's an eco for Oasis. And like I said, I might have considered a save if Spectres are not. I just feel like that A hold from the Oasis side was just completely lacking. I don't know what Marky was doing, just out in the open in that position right there. And the rest of the team fell apart. Coco as well was just left dazed after just that execute by Action PH. One of the things that I love seeing about Action PH is how clean their executes are. They're so methodical, they're so thorough, and they really just don't miss any corners whenever they go for those full executes. And so, Asarai, what I'd like to see from Oasis is to force Action PH to make a mistake or to give up a player earlier on to make it so that the executes are a little bit difficult for Action PH. But Action PH, they're not giving them an inch.
Not giving them an inch at all. Ripper playing the yellow corner here. It's only a matter of time before he does get flogged off, if ever. But Marky as well as Ripper trying to just hold the fort here aggressively. It seems to work for a moment, but just the bit. And as you see, Envy caught out in the open, not even escape, as there was already one pinching through an orange there. And APH, again, just round after round, they're beating the Jesus out of Oasis here. Maybe we'll see Oasis pick up an operator, but at least this time it's going to be enough.
Enemy remaining.
Still waiting for Action PH to give Oasis an inch, but hasn't happened. Sometimes an inch is all you need. And
hey man, if you know how to use that inch, you know,
sometimes it's all you have.
I mean, if this is speaking for experience, I feel for you.
All right, well, speaking of inches, Oasis now, they're going to be crawling their way. They're inching their way here towards mid. Trying to get a little bit more control. And I like this. This is what I wanted to see from Oasis. Force Action PH to have a harder time on these executes. But it's going to be a 5v5 retake instead here towards that A side.
No.
Nice kill from Georgie. He actually gets away up on top of that lockdown as well. I don't know what that cloud burst is about, actually. I don't know if you saw anything. Maybe it was for the turret. But Marky is able to get one. That's up on the flank here. Going down to a 4v4. Yeah. Georgie stopping while Oreo dead in his tracks. Now Sparta 3v4 time taken away.
Now, They're going to have to force themselves through the Viper's Pit here. And again, it's a weird game of Jack in the Box. They're going to have to open so many corners just so that. And that's not going to happen again. In the last bastion of hope, but immediately brought down by the remaining members of APH there. And I got to say here, Georgie, he's doing whatever he can and whatever he wants, and it is working. He's not overly aggressive, but the corners that he chooses, look at how effective it is in just getting like these singular picks.
Individual picks right now from Action PH have really been the story on how they're able to maintain such an advantage over Oasis. See, the thing is, the problem that I'm seeing right now from Oasis is they're just giving up too much too early, whether it's a pick, whether it's map control. They made an aggressive push towards mid, great. But stuff like that happens where they lose the rest of A. I'd like to see a little bit more of a, you know, a separated, concerted approach towards the site, because right now it's just the same thing. They get a pick, they take a site, and Oasis have no way to respond.
I feel like Georgie should have like a title other than the Baraka. I feel like he's the one
enemy remaining.
Or from the Philippines. Damn, he's just opening stuff up. Like he just peeks, sees a pixel, and then he shoots, and it just magically gets him a kill.
He's, you know, surprisingly, we talk about Georgie a lot, but one player that I do want to, you know, mention that has really grown in the past few months as well is Modeski. Right now, he's sitting at the top of the scoreboard.
One enemy remaining.
Honestly, from last year, with
site control on A, it just is a power play for Oasis here. For APH, excuse me. Oasis now still on the rifles. I wonder when Marky is actually going to cop himself an operator, because I feel like that could be a risk they should be willing to take now, since they've dropped already a couple of rounds. A bit of a mix-up here and there could maybe also disrupt the flow that APH is going, because as you mentioned, APH just super clean on the executes.
I agree 100%. I wish that the operator would come sooner, Asarai. It would help them take more map control with less players committed to it. If they sent an operator down B long or down towards mid a little bit aggressively, they wouldn't have to commit so many bodies. And that might help them maintain control of A site, which they've been losing consistently. Now, however, it's going to be a different story as they just deploy the Viper Spit and hope to get a little bit lucky here. It's a decent strategy, sure, but I feel like Oasis, they need to be doing a little bit more.
Well, they have committed this ultimate from Ripper, but the problem now lies that Zero Deathyo still has his own drone just to clear it out, and this ultimate does absolutely nothing on the zip line. Still, Oasis are making it into a really good angle to actually get some picks. Envy is starting to fire off as he finds the 3K. Emma does get the res, so it is still going to be APH having a bit of a firing squad here, but they might not be able to commit on the A side. Though Marky, already at the lurk, finds immediately 2 frags, and RU is trapped, wrapped in a cage
30 seconds
as he is being flanked from above, or in front and behind.
Easiest 2 kills of his life, but he's got to deal with the rest now. 1v3 for RU. It's finally a decent half for Oasis. Viper's Pit to get him here as the double swing out comes in, and Coco closes out the round for his team. I really think Asarai that was a decent approach to the round. I would really like to see them do a little bit more interesting things on the defensive side. You know, flash, and that's the problem with this team. I don't see a flash. Do you see a flash? I don't see a flash. I don't see a single flash for Oasis, and you can't, because it's like, okay, let's take B main. With what? How are you gonna flash me into B main? How are you gonna flash into? You're just not. But then
I guess they're just, you know, relying on the utilities that they have that's not flashes. So yeah, intel and smokes for the most part, but oh man, Georgie. Yeah, last round they had the Viper Spit. That's why Action PH were very, very cautious of going into the A side. But now that they don't have that, look how just aggressive they are. But Ripper, he's a snake.
Spike down
in cover, and he finds these kills. Oh my goodness, that's a huge one. As Georgie could have actually popped him from 410. He actually backs up to his initial position and should be able to catch Zero Deathyo. But I think he heard the footstep. In any case, this is still Zero and RU caught again. Can't really push forward. It's a bit of a risk. They could try to wrap around, but again, they're going to have to cover a lot of ground, and RU's already committed his important Viper wall onto the A side. So a double dip back into A could be the could be the proper move here for APH.
Oh, dip, potato chip as they try to get into A. It's 3v2. Ripper has bought a life. The timing, so unfortunate for Envy. He's gonna hate that for sure.
Spike planted. One enemy
Try to
remaining.
work their way onto site. Coco's ready
player
for one.
standing.
Not ready for the second. Zero Death Deal has to come up huge. Has to get a 4K.
No!
Ooh, the timing again for these Sovas. Just missing completely. Marky will steal the round away. Oasis get another one. But it was a hard-fought one, even though Ripper gets a triple on the defense.
Man, Ripper is getting those triple kills round after round, and he has been giving Oasis the fighting chance, right? You talk about how Oasis should have an operator because it does allow them for solo map control, lesser people just to hold a certain angle. Ripper is doing the same thing in a sense with his utility, and it is again giving Oasis that bit of fighting strat here. Now that Action PH know that it is going to be Ripper always at the A site, it seems like they want to try their metal towards B main, where Coco and Marky are waiting for the contact.
Yeah, this is an interesting development because they haven't had much luck on that B site entirely. The times that they did go B, they were a little bit shut down. And Action PH, they're a very execute-heavy team where they can get onto a site. But the thing is, B site, not that easy to execute onto unless you have a very good game plan. We'll see how it works out as the Hunter's Fury does come out. He's being dished out here, not going to be doing too much damage at all. Nothing that they can't come back from. As Georgian, are you individual picks across the map towards B, towards mid. 3v5, all they got to do now is group up and take a site.
That was greedy from Envy. He was the only one holding mid, and because he was using that Hunter's Fury, and he was behind cover, right? He could just not get any information if he was getting pushed. Like, he could have a chance to get a kill. Yes, that would have been brilliant, but that might have been the risky biscuit. Again, Ripper, he's doing all of the work right now for Oasis. Picks up the nice little 4-piece, and it's all Jordy against the world. Ripper is the absolute magician right now, pulling something out of nothing, Elu, just to keep Oasis at the forefront, at the advantage in each and every single one of these rounds.
Yeah, he is the bastion of hope right now for Oasis. As long as he's alive, there is a possibility. Luke, we need your help, Luke.
I gave you a
You're my only hope.
You're my only hope. With an ace like that, that's a lot of hope.
Wow. He's already 16 kills in. Georgie's like 11. We've been like praising Georgie's name at the start for how APH are taking the sites.
My God.
Ripper on the other spectrum, we gotta give him praise for just standard style from them or standard outcome from them. It should be people like Marky and even Wild Oreo that should be popping off. And haven't really seen Wild Oreo find much success on his Raze for the moment. Granted, it could be just because it's on defense. Really can't optimize his utility other than just throwing it out. And because he's playing these lesser aggressive angles, you know, just trying to get information and whatnot, I think he's being overwhelmed by the Action PH members. But that being said, he needs to step up somehow, but we'll probably see that on the second half.
It's very rare that we see a quiet game from the likes of Envy and Wild Oreo, but fortunately they have Ripper to step up this time. Hallmark of a great team is when everybody can pop off, but it's going to be the Pain Shield to actually stop the plan. I'm not sure how Coco got that actually, but the Hunter Fury is good enough to get the trade.
Spike planted.
Good enough to get another. That's a double kill from Zero Death Deal with a Hunter's Fury, but Marky's looking to hang on. He finds Aryu as well. Viper's Pit deployed because certainly he's been holding on to that. Now Ripper is in the mix. What can you do? Because this guy is absolutely on fire. But so is Zero Death Deal. 4 kills for him right now. Give him the ace. Will we be seeing back-to-back aces to the right? It's been denied.
The kill secure.
Last round before the
PH.
switch.
And I honestly thought that Oasis would have gotten that round. They were building up to a climactic finish there, I feel, with Wild Oreo popping his showstopper. There it is! And then somehow, some way, he actually gets spotted by Zero. And this was one of the points that I wanted to talk about for Action PH here, Ilu, is that I did mention, you know, during the group stage that it was Eman and Georgie that, you know, the Splash Brothers for Action PH. But the deeper we go into this tournament, I felt like Action PH strongest players now hover over or revolve around Georgie as well as Zero Deathio, because he can just do so much with the Sova while also finding these really amazing frags that give so much space again for Georgie to do Georgie things.
And this is what I like about Action PH. Georgie is on the operator on the attacking side.
Welcome to
That's how confident they are. Their ability to execute without Georgie up on the entry. Now, he's on the other side. We see Marky. He still hasn't picked up an operator at all, which could have definitely helped their case. But still, 7-4 is 7-5 as they now barrel their way into the A site, already secured it. Viper's pitch force it. That's going to be a jump up here. The updraft leading to nothing but Eman getting a double. Now Eman with a third here. It's every single member popping off as Envy drops a couple. But now it's all up to Eman. He's looking for the ace. Denied again. How many aces will we be seeing denied this tournament as Action PH find the 8-4?
Switching sides.
Oof, Oasis are taking a bit of a beat down here, but flip the switch. See how it goes. Second pistol will go underway. I still think this isn't the worst outcome for Oasis. 4-8 is still pretty respectable, I'd say. We do see, again, a Ripper just being able to be that vanguard, that bastion of hope, as you were describing. Take that nice little quick replay there. That was almost a great comeback, I would say, but Valorant just not in a position where he could refrag quickly for Envy.
They could have given to him, but they chose not to. He had the angle as well. What would you do? Asteroid, would you get mad? Would you be upset?
Yeah, because I don't get aces too often. I'm shallow. Okay, that's a tag on Eman.
Starting with straight up B right here this time for Oasis. They're probably gonna... They can fall back if they want to. I don't imagine that they will because it is the pistol round. They don't have a lot of utility to rotate. But look at this, Action PH. They're sending 3 players to fight for yellow. Uncharacteristic, uncommon, but they get away with murder as they find Envy waiting in the back lines. Now it's a 4v5 here, and they've crept up so close. Look at how close Action PH is. Not even on sight here. They have a crossfire set up towards yellow, but it falls apart right now as the 2 kills do come in for Oasis.
Still, that gives all the information right now for APH as to where Oasis are. If they try to plant the spike now, this would be detrimental. Marky does get boosted. That could be actually his death sentence, which it is, because he got tagged by the recon. Ripper actually gets through the back line. Still, we got that 2 versus 1. They're trying to isolate the angles here. Nice little firefight, but Zero re-peaks the angle and claims victory to this round. Just wanted to add to that one, Ilu. I think that nade from Valorant a bit too early, because he was blotted out by the smoke of the Viper, and his teammates could not capitalize. And APH knew about this. They just re-peeked out with like 3 people, and it worked to delay the Oasis push.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like that nade, if it were just a tad bit later on, they might have been able to do a little bit more of a push here. But it comes to the very small things that are very important, Astra, as you would know. And
what?
That's just...
I just heard that. My mind just processed it.
It's like the
my boy missing though. That's not.
For some reason, the Marshall is a little bit harder to hit.
Ground. No charges left.
Ooh,
for Georgie.
Okay, Marshall war. For Georgie, as he finds another. Zero Deathio. Man, Zero Deathio is really just on a tear today. We talk about the players that are absolutely popping off here. It's actually Zero Deathio right now. Moski slowed down a little bit, but on the other side, and you got Ripper who's just absolutely tearing it up as well. Not the duelists that are this time, you know, stepping up, but it's actually the support players who are showing everybody.
Keep up the great work. That's good. That's actually really good. Did you know that that sticker right there, the one with the 4 legs, is a lobster? Is it a lobster? Yeah, it's a lobster. Is it a lobster? Yeah. Shoutouts to Saikuno. if I remember the meme correctly. But yeah, going back to your point, you know, serious matters here, though. Zero Deathio, just banger of a job, and he's 2 away from his ultimate. And with this being the bonus, he can just play it slow, and yeah, just
hang out, just wait.
Exactly.
And you know, it's like this. You know, there's some strats in Icebox that I'm totally fine with. Like, this is, I'm not gonna say who, but we were playing with a certain coach from a certain team, and he was like, "All right, this is the strat, guys. Stay in spawn, wait 40 seconds, and then we go A."
40 seconds.
40 seconds, and then we go. And guess what? We won every single round. Okay, this is not obviously ranked, but if they waited 40 seconds, they might have caught off this push coming in here from Action PH. Is all I'm saying, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Oh. Well, he waited a good chunk of time too.
30 seconds left.
He just walked up to them, and now they're pinched front and back. That's not what you want, right? You don't want to get pinched from front and back. That's no bueno. That's the sandwich that does not taste good for Oasis here. And yeah, they have to plant the spike, so that was one person hands occupied as the other one just tries to get the maybe a kill or two as a defensive Brody, but it's not gonna happen this time either.
It's just looking like a non-starter here for Oasis, and I think they should have just waited 40 seconds. They would have caught off the flank. They could have caught off the multiple push here in mid. And this is what I'm seriously though. Action PH, I'm not 100% happy. Excuse me. Not 100% happy with what they're doing. It's kind of a little bit. Sorry, not Action PH. Oasis kind of looking like it's a little bit get into danger territory. Pretty much only 2 rounds for Action PH. This is what happens, man, when you have the panel of, say, Oasis across the board.
Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't part of the panel there, because
I would have said Action PH.
I have no idea who would have actually said here, because again, I had my predictions about this, but it's as simple as it could go either way. But I did have in my notes that I felt like Akshan, with the Georgie that we saw yesterday, could be a really big detriment to the Oasis style, because Oasis always play with like trying to read their opponents, and Georgie plays in a way that you can't really read him, but he still gets value off of his shenanigans.
Hunter's Fury is deployed here so early on because Zero Deathio, he can afford it, sure. While Oreo deals with the flank for now as Modsky works his way onto the site and gets Marky. Still has to find 3 more. They're only on Sheriff, but they've recovered a Vandal onto Wild Oreo. They will be spraying here. They identified one. Here comes the shock dart. It's gonna land. Not too much damage. Actually walks into it. Modsky finds one. Backup is here. Envy. He gets the defuse. Emma just gets the defuse right before he actually gets taken out. That is for certain a Republic of Gamers clutch for you guys. Wow.
That is a thick wall with like 6 Cs.
Especially against Sheriffs, man.
Yeah. Hand cannons, they got nothing on Sage's wall. Look at that. It probably was super healthy still. That valiant hold from Modsky gave just enough time for Emon to squeeze in the defuse. Now Oasis trying to hold their best here as they try to push forward and keep themselves alive. But realistically, we're probably looking at a game 2 already with ATH. 1 on the board. Emon, that's a good wall to start off the round.
That's a headshot pixel, not pixel, but a headshot angle. Nice kill right there. Get us into a 5v5 scenario. Shot goes wide, but not from RU as he drops now in response. Rez comes through. Zero Deathio with a double, Emon with a third. And that's going to be Ripper all alone. He's been fantastic, but he can't pull off a miracle. Action PH takes the game 13-4. Defiantly so, as they will get the victory, the big V. Now, here's a couple of questions that I do want to pose to you, Asarai. Again, we're seeing the Rays on Icebox. And I feel like if they had a flash, it would have helped them so much more. Maybe a Sky instead, because we know that Wild Oreo, he can play Sky, he can play anything. But I think the Rays was so overwhelming.